Fine, I'll do it. Just because I made it doesn't mean I don't want others to play it. Alright, as some of you might notice, my guides tend to be service information. This was even more the case with Caesar, because to me he seemed so obvious in what his role was, but it looks like that's not the case, and I'm getting a lot of questions on 1, why do I main it? 2, why does every clan team insist on having at least one, at least from what I've seen? Well, first, for those who don't know, I used to main Germanicus because my idea was if my job is easy enough, I can focus on directing my teammates and giving signals. It turns out, while it is easy to play Germanicus, it is also very intense to play it. But the main reason is, even if you are the best Germanicus in the world, your best bet at a tournament is to take out 2-3 other players with you, which is very important, but as Caesar you can change the course of the entire battle. Unlike the most other generals, Caesar is not about killing what's ahead, but controlling the battlefield in your favor to allow your teammates to perform their best. Hence why I picked him. So now let's do a proper introduction on how to use a Caesar competitively. As Caesar, your job is to spread those buffs like mosquitoes spreading malaria. The rest is of second importance, meaning if you end up running around dodging arrows most of the time, as long as your buffs are up, you're doing good. Ideally, your VD should be up at all times. You do this by cycling your VD from unit to unit. Veni is a bit trickier due to duration and a long cooldown, but it should be up during the whole engagement. So save the buff of your protector unit as the last one, because if your javs are out of the field, you will have one more trump card, and trust me, there are multiple good reasons to run 2 javelins, 1 infantry. So, Vici, or Viki as I like to call it, is the ability that makes you the leader of your division. And it basically means you will be calling the strikes. You need to tell people when your Viki is up, so they will know to change the target, because that unit will be unable to use its abilities. This is deadly to pikes because they cannot form a phalanx, but also very effective against everyone because their strikes and all of their other abilities are disabled. So while with your Veni you have 50% melee attack and 50% melee defense bonus, enemy has nothing. So now you see why having an infantry unit is important. You can see many unit combos with Caesar: cavalry, infantry, javelins, or all 3. They're all valid depending on the circumstances. Now, I will not reveal the rationale behind all of them because it would just take too long, and it's quite fun to adjust your units to your playstyle. I initially started with 3 javelins, but didn't feel the impact of the 3rd javelin, so I switched to infantry to increase the versatility. This allows me to deal with Miltiades, cavalry, pikemen, etc. all on my own, while delegating anti-skirmisher duty to archers with my support, because let's admit, as Javs, with your range, there is not much you can do. Now, you might be asking, why javelins? Well, simply because 1, you want to be alive as long as possible, so a fast unit is always good. 2, Viki deactivates when you engage in melee, and the only Roman unit that can do damage while not in melee is javelins. Now, I realize artillery exists, but at that combat range, 1 volley kills them outright, so they're out. So, why do you want to take infantry? Because 1, melee protection, 2, melee damage against dogs, Miltiades spears, not to mention medium infantry still allows you to kite while protecting against cavalry, and the Pilla slows down your target, does tremendous amounts of damage, as well as there's another secret reason that you'll need to use to find out. And why cavalry? Well, you can watch the support cavalry video and you will know, but it's basically buffs and the archers gone off the field. Yes, please. So these are the 3 main unit choices with Caesar. He's not easy at all. Is he the hardest? I don't know. But in a team, your job will be calling the shots, so I suggest you assign different things to different F keys for that. I have F1 as attack, F2 as assist, F3 as shoot, and F4 as defend. So this allows me to easy access to signals which are essential in the tournaments, like telling where I'm being shot from so that archers can focus their target, melee units that needs to be destroyed because I have V-key and other buffs activated. And with a good team, it works like a well-oiled machine, and honestly is easier than controlling 20 units, because one signal, which is one click, I have started a whole cascade of movements where my teammate takes over while I can focus on surviving and spreading those buffs. And that is not something you can do in a 20 unit controlling scenario. This really makes you feel the beauty of Total War Arena. So with that in mind, playing solo with Caesar is hard, rewardless, arduous, and very punishing for even the slightest mistake. So if you do decide to main it, remember that you will have to work harder than the others just to get to the same level. I hope this helps you with understanding what Caesar support is. And if you do have any questions, do leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.